You there! This is Dave and Jason
Hey!
from DC On Screen. It's that time again. We need help from you to grow our show. But keep listening because there's something in it for you. Give us a 5-star written review on iTunes for a chance to win a free DC trade paperback, DVD, or Blu Ray valued at $15 or less. 1 in 10 will win. The winner will be randomly selected with a number generator on random.org and announced on one of our news episodes. It's pretty simple, really.
Free stuff!
Hooray! Anyway, yeah, seriously, do that. It helps us a lot. It's, like, so good. Anyway, sit back. Enjoy this brand new episode of DC On Screen. Welcome in to DC On Screen, episode 226. I am your host, David C. Robertson. This is my co-host, Jason Goss.
Hello!
And today we are going to get super spoilery on Gotham 305, Anything for You. To recap, Captain Barnes begins to heal quickly from his wounds, and it's almost certainly from Alice's blood. Butch leads the Red Hood gang in hopes of killing them all to regain Penguin's good graces. Ed figures it out, sabotages Butch's plan, and forces him to expose himself as the leader in front of everyone. Penguin wants to kill Butch, but Tabitha saves him. Bruce hires Jim to investigate the disappearance of Ivy, who decides to toy with Selina at Penguin's party at the Sirens, and Jervis Tetch has really lost his shit, dressing some rando girl up as Alice and slitting her throat. That about right?
That's about it. That's about it. You know what the best part about this episode, really? The actual plot with Enigma and Butch was pretty good, but the interactions on this episode were killer for me. Like Enigma coming back and talking to Lucius, the little mind game he's playing with him in the lab was fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know Lucius had that in him, but I'm very impressed. And there's always at least one line from Alfred, and the thing about Stan the gardener picking up Mr. Gallivan for weeks after the bazooka incident, was just fucking delightful.
Yeah, that was fun. Though my favorite line from Alfred was, "How fortuitous you showed up when you did with that bazooka." Just the inflection of it was just amazing.
Yeah, it was well done. The everything about Bruce this episode was fantastic. You had the little bit where he says there was lipstick on a coffee mug on your table. You're becoming quite the little detective, aren't you? Well,
absolutely,
just lovely. And then
I wrote it down.
Yeah, and my favorite part, though, maybe of the whole episode was probably him and Selina. He goes out there, dude, like drops the bomb. I guess we'll call that a bomb. I mean, I loved the bit before where he says, like, saying it out loud. I realized that it wasn't really that impressive because the little false start with Ivy. But then he goes into it, and he finally does get the kiss, and just says, "I'm confused." Good. Welcome to the game, Bruce. Like, those two.
Yeah. I just wrote down Selina is such a jerk to Bruce.
That was my note, was like, welcome to the game, buddy. Welcome to the game.
Yeah. She's so mean to him. Like, all the time.
She is.
Don't understand.
I know.
I really enjoyed Bruce saying to Alfred, "So this is our life now. Fake smiles and mingling. I miss the old days."
Yeah.
Lucius and Ed was a lot of fun. More fun, though? Lee punching the shit out of Ed.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. And then dropping the Falcone card on him. Or is it Falcone or Falcone? Which one should I go with here?
Falcone.
Falcone? Okay.
This is Gotham.
Okay.
This ain't no Nolan shit.
Yeah, dude. She knocks him in the face and then basically says, "I'll have you killed if that's a problem."
Pretty much.
It's fantastic. It's really, he's having such a power trippy day, and then just
Yeah, my fiance's father's Carmine Falcone. Oh, okay. Mm-hmm. Never mind.
Enjoy your power trip, but I will take you out. Oh.
It was sweet.
And just starting off the show as they did, it's kind of a funny scene. Like they come to assassinate a statue. Mm-hmm. I'm kind of laughing at that. Like, man, I know it was a symbol and all that, but you sent out a whole crew just to chop off the head of a statue? All right, I guess. Seems very Gotham-y.
Not even a good-looking statue.
It was. Though that's actually very realistic. Because how many like city-sanctioned statues have you ever seen that looked really great?
4.
Which I'm assuming is a low number. I don't know.
Nah, I've seen 5.
If you answer that question, that's one of those rhetorical questions that if you answer it at all, the whole thing collapses into complete fucking nonsense.
Yeah.
All you have to do to thwart me is say a number, and I'm done. But
This episode actually had like a theme of bad-looking representations of people, like from the penguin's mother to the penguin's ice sculpture. I'm like, none of this looks like these people. This is terrible.
Sculpting is hard, Dave.
I know.
It's hard.
I didn't say I was an expert at it. I just said they are not.
Right. Just saying them too. But all right, you know what was worth it though with that weird statue was Penguin calls the meeting and the guy pipes up about, is this really why we're here? It just slams his fucking head on the, like, I just love that little bit. That's I love it when he's ruthless. We've all loved it when he killed for a tuna sandwich, but him just grabbing the back of a dude's head and slamming it on the, I think he hits him with, like, into the statue, I want to say.
Yeah, I think so.
Completely brutal.
I mean,
I love those scenes.
I was cracking up at the fun montage of his mayoral duties at the beginning.
Yeah.
Like, all of that was fun.
It's amazing though, especially in that scene when he always just looks so clammy. Like he's just perspiring constantly.
Yep.
I forget that sometimes, but the parade scene really pointed it out for me.
Yeah. But yeah, I like all of the power plays here. You know, the mayor can't fire me. Nobody can appoint a commissioner who will. Oh, damn. Mm-hmm. Like, good stuff. I love to see Zaz back. I
did, but I had a problem with one thing. Like, Butch comes over and when they're telling Butch what the setup is, like how screwed they are, and we're gonna take over, and Butch is kind of seeing the cards where they really are. He pulls out Zaz and he's like, "You got Zaz? I mean, isn't Zaz like a mercenary primarily? Like, you just whoever throws the most money at him, I thought got him. I didn't know it was a big deal. Like, you got to Zaz."
I don't think he would have. I don't think he would have turned on Falcone.
Well, probably not. I'll tell you that. Maybe it was just that kitchen. I don't know. I didn't like a lot of the stuff that happened in there. That line from Tigress right before she starts just beating the shit out of people, like she often does. She's like standing there in front of a row of knives and says, "You should really search the place first." And then like,
yeah, that was bad.
That was just weird.
Yeah, that was bad.
But she kicks ass well, so no harm done, really. Oh, one of the interactions I forgot to mention. Bruce valiantly wants to go hire Gordon to help look for Ivy, right? And the bits about like, no, really, she's just a friend. Yeah.
Yeah, Jim completely flusters Bruce over Selina, man.
Right.
That was a lot of fun.
So, yeah. Their little coffee session later. Oh, the coffee scene, you know what it reminded me of? Is that, the bit in the animated series where they have coffee? Yes,
the Holiday Nights episode.
Yeah. Like one of these days I'm going to pay. I'm going to get the tab or something like that. It just, I love thinking about stuff like that watching the show. Like, yeah, you're having coffee now, no big deal, but if it ever barreled into like the yearly coffee, I'd love to remember that.
I did laugh when he was like, "I know you're a billionaire. I can buy you coffee." You know.
I think I can handle $1.50, Bruce. Sorry.
I really like their dynamic.
Oh, they're a lot of fun. Like if the show, when we've enjoyed the show the most, it really is when it's like Alfred, Bruce, Gordon. When those three are on the same, like in the same scene, I freaking love it. Yeah.
I mean, I've said it before, most of the time with any of these shows that we talk about, I don't really need action scenes. That would almost be okay if I grew up in a time when you couldn't really do a lot of the action scenes on superhero shows anyway. So, like, a lot of that was just implied.
Yeah.
Yeah, a lot of that was just implied, silhouettes and whatnot. I'm good with that.
Like, Christopher Reeve punches somebody and like, that's the big scene. Yes, Superman punched a guy. Woo!
Yep.
And you felt great about it. Man, that guy really went down. Like, when you think about it, you've seen Clint Eastwood do the same thing on screen, but but he wasn't wearing that S.
And he didn't go down quite as fast.
Not as fast. Pretty fast. It was still an Eastwood movie.
So
Barnes, how you feeling?
Yeah.
Think he's going to turn into a freaking... I mean, right now, I guess he's kind of like a Mr. Hyde time bomb.
Yeah, a big orange creature. I don't
know what they're going to make him. Surely it's going to have a name, though.
No.
They've got to name check something.
I wonder if they make him Bane.
That's what I'm saying. You got luchador masks in the precinct right now.
Yeah, I forgot you talked about that last week, didn't you?
I'm rooting for that one.
I'm hoping against it. I really am.
I'm only rooting for it because it would be fun to be right about it. Otherwise, I'd be completely in your camp.
I mean, no one's ever gotten Bane right.
Oh, hell no.
So,
I mean, I thought they were going to for a second with Dark Knight Rises, just because at least they were making him intelligent. And the most fun you have with Bane is when he's super smart. I mean, that's how Nightfall happens, right?
Yep.
But man, then they just pulled the rug out from under you.
Yeah.
Was never his plan to begin with.
Damn shame, really.
I know. So I like the stuff
Especially
with
since all that, I was born into darkness stuff was so cool.
Yeah.
But if not a little rehearsed.
Yeah.
I just wanted Bruce to be like, why does it sound like you've been practicing this in a mirror? I told you I was born into darkness. There were no mirrors.
Yeah. God, we could go off on that for a while, but I'm going to refrain. So Enigma as a right-hand man is phenomenal. I mean, the stunt he pulls, and he does it, he says, your shock when seeing Butch had to be genuine. They had to believe you. Mm-hmm. It's a convoluted ass plan that you feel like only somebody like the Riddler would ever have come up with. Mm-hmm. It was gorgeous work though.
Yes.
The
what do you
problem I think we're eventually going to have is I think it seems like he was a little too genuine when he says he's not cut out to be number 2. Mm-hmm. Does it seem like eventually that's where we're going to go with it?
Maybe. I don't know. I don't know what they're really planning on doing with those two. A whole lot of people are real upset because it looks like they might be making them lovers real soon. Penguin and Riddler.
Yeah, I think that's just because the scene was shot awkwardly. Because there's a moment in that little scene where when he was like leaning in, I thought, are they gonna kiss? That's gonna be it.
Yeah.
That's gonna be a whole different road. But no.
Yeah, I mean,
it was just a hug, but based on that hug, you got to believe that like Penguin, like Oswald, growing up, has never actually had a friend. He can't have.
Right.
You don't hug someone that way if you've ever experienced real friendship with anyone ever before in your life and gotten used to it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I mean, I'm not going to stop watching the show if they do put them in a romantic relationship. Whole lot of shippers will be happy, though. I never considered the idea that they would be, until this episode. I was like, oh man, really? Okay, well, I mean, it doesn't bother me. It's just weird. It's weird character choices.
Well, look at it this way. Look at it this way. If they do it, man, it's new territory at least.
It is. And this show is blazing new territory. It's doing things that the comics didn't do. It's clearly its own universe.
Oh yeah.
Our buddy Matthew Ryan Cronin wrote to us on Facebook. He says he thinks he's figured out his fundamental problem with Gotham. He says, every time there's any real conflict, I never feel any drama because all I can ever think is they won't kill them because there's no Batman yet.
Yeah.
Which I think kind of ruins the stakes and drama and becomes more of a writer's room of, okay, how do we write ourselves out of this corner? Me, I say, dude, they killed Sarah Essen.
Yeah, they did. Shot her straight up.
Everybody is up for grabs. Like, I would guess they wouldn't kill Jim or Bruce. Everybody else, Jim, Bruce, or Alfred. Everybody else is it could die. And even those three, I guess, could die.
Easily.
With little, I don't know. That's just me.
They literally can do whatever they want. But where Matthews...
And have.
Yeah.
And have.
Where Matthews... I think the best point he's got though is that they don't do it enough. Like if they were doing this the way that I guess I would prefer to help his point, and I've had the same problem on occasion. I'm watching, Enigma get strangled and thinking, until he's in a green suit, he's safe. They need to pull the rug out a little more often. I mean, I know some of these people they've got some breakout characters. They can't get rid of Oswald. People love him. Mm-hmm. Riddler's really picked up steam. Like when you have breakout characters, you got to keep your bread and butter, and I get that. But we all love Lee, but maybe Offer. Butch could go. Either Oswald or her, or Riddler could go. Just every now and then, I think you do. You have to absolutely shatter my illusion and kill someone I love.
Well, I think Butch would be easy to get rid of because he's not in the comics.
Yeah, I mean you can knock him out and just. Actually, that's a good point. You might want to keep him around just to reinforce that, like, no, really, we're going to do whatever we want.
Yeah.
We're going to keep people we invented.
The unfortunate thing about the show is they have to walk a line. They have to make sure that they're saying, like, okay, well, if we start just killing off a bunch of people that are supposed to be Batman villains, dude, we're killing off all of Batman's villains.
Yeah.
We can't do that. we're going to piss off people, and because people are already pissed off. Like, I'm, as the host of this show, I'm a member of a bunch of groups on Facebook, just to keep up with what's going on and what the fan base is saying. So many people complain about Gotham. I don't know how it's getting as many views as Fox claims it is, but yeah, so many people are angry about how it's like diverging from the comics and the movies, and I'm like, the movies diverge from the. What canon are you basing this on?
The comics diverge from the comics.
That's not the thing to get mad at with Gotham. The inherent unevenness of the show is what you should be getting angry about.
Can't we all get behind this?
Yeah, whatever. Anyway,
so
moving on.
Skipping to the end, the Hatter scene. Man, I've liked him the first few episodes. I thought that scene was a little over the top for him, though.
Oh! Now you think it's over the top?
Yeah, that was my mark. That was apparently where I hit it. I was digging it until he kind of just went too far with the voice. I felt like on this one, he was. But I do love the concept of like setting the table and writing in blood the name of the people that should be at the table. That's actually kind of neat.
Yeah, I mean, I figured that was, it was heading in that direction at the very least. But I've always thought this guy was over the top.
It's
and not particularly interesting to me.
It was just this scene where I finally went, ooh.
Which there's only ever been exactly one version of the Mad Hatter I liked, and it was Roddy McDowell's.
Yeah, I know.
So
he's hard to get right.
Maybe that's just me.
He's really hard to get right.
Yeah.
Well, I say that though. The Arkham games had a pretty good version of him.
I didn't like their version of him.
I did. I hated his levels sometimes.
I mean, it looked cool. It wasn't one of my things. I just didn't like it. But
yeah.
I think the closest I've come to liking another Mad Hatter is this one on Gotham. But
you're gonna get a lot of them next week.
Oh boy.
Yeah, I'm just. The promo happens to be on in the background right now, and it looks like he's playing some mind games. Yeah, I think you've got a very Hatter-centric episode coming up.
Yeah, it is what it is. I'll bitch about it next week.
Yeah, okay.
Or I'll like it. I don't know. I'm not planning to bitch.
Look, it happens. It happens all the time. How much did I gripe about Barnes? And then there I was, admitting I was wrong. I mean, just mere weeks later.
That's my favorite thing about that, is that you were just so wrong about Barnes. I like Barnes so much. I don't know how they're about to ruin him. I feel like they are. But I don't know. I only have really one last note on this episode. I don't like how Ivy is toying with Selina. I mean, it's kind of fun, but it's like, oh man, come on, just tell her.
But no, not yet.
Yeah.
We just haven't liked anything they've been doing with Ivy since that change. So.
I don't find this actress particularly engaging or interesting in any regard.
Not particularly, no. Now, granted, they've given her very little to do other than
murder a guy who didn't water his plants.
Yeah. I think didn't they say the guy was hospitalized? I don't know if she actually killed him.
Oh, was he? I don't know.
It was. They mentioned him in this episode, and I thought I can't remember what they said about him though. It was a side little triviality.
Yeah, maybe it was. Maybe it was that. I don't know, but I just haven't been too into this version of Ivy. And
to be fair, they haven't focused on her yet, and they're very much
I know
taking their time with Hatter at the moment, and they'll get to her. But it's been very Cobblepot and Hattery up front right now.
Which is fine with so far. I mean,
I'm really enjoying
that
method.
The Enigma
hugely.
stuff.
Like, you try to cram too much stuff into a show at one time, it just gets everything falls apart. So if you're gonna have this many players, I would prefer they do it the way they're doing it. So
absolutely, they're not hitting any of that stuff up poorly this season so far. I don't feel like it's crowded or anything. Yeah. Enjoying the episodes for the most part. Just all that being said, I miss Claire Foley.
Oh no. She was a fascinating little actress. But that's all I had too.
Anyway, that's what I got.
Yep.
Guys, thank you so much for listening to DC On Screen. You can find every episode at DCOnScreen.com. Please subscribe to us on iTunes or Stitcher or wherever pods be caught, because we're everywhere. We are proud members of the Giant Size Team Up Network, GiantSizeTeamUp.com. We are also proud members of the Batman Podcast Network. We will be coming right back with a new episode reviewing Lucifer 204 Lady Parts. Until then, keep some DC on your screen.